Okay. Can let me see here. Hello, hello, hello. Where was anybody can hear me? There we go. Okay, I'm hoping everyone can hear me. If not, I do apologize. I just got out of the hospital, so if you guys don't mind my low tone, you must excuse me. So, like I said, I just got out of the hospital. I'm bringing this to you really, really quickly. It's something that's been boggling me every since I've seen it online. I've been looking at several articles about, well, and newscasts about people misusing wheelchairs in airports, theme parks, and different venues just to get ahead. And the thing that bothers me the most about this entire thing is that these people don't even need a wheelchair. Okay. I've seen this happen personally myself when I could go grocery shopping. And you know, they have those carts, those electric carts where people can get in them if they cannot walk for themselves. Let's say they can't bring their wheelchair inside, and they have these electric carts for people to do their shopping. So I'm looking at, people get in these carts and they don't even need a wheelchair. They don't even need the cart. They're just getting in it because they're too lazy to freaking walk around the store and get what they need. So what happens is when these people misuse these wheelchairs and these electric carts and grocery stores and different venues that supply wheelchairs for people like me that's in one, what it does, it leaves us without the use of one. When you have people that don't need the wheelchair hopping their happy little behinds in them, and then it leaves us in the cold like, wait a minute, now we need this chair. Now the problem with this is the people that supply these chairs cannot say, well, you know what, you're not in the wheelchair or you don't need it, get up. They can't tell these people to get up. Legally, they can't because they don't know if these people need them or not, but we do. Let me tell you something. Anyone in a wheelchair knows a person that don't need a wheelchair. We can see it. And the problem with that is I think it should be some stronger laws preventing this from happening, because there's been plenty of times when I was in a store and I couldn't even get a mobile cart to go shopping. I had to either stay in the car or I had to hold on to a regular shopping cart while I struggled to walk around the store. And they don't understand how horrible that is and how we feel when we see people do this. Now I'm seeing articles of people using wheelchairs in airports for people that need wheelchairs. These people are perpetrating a fraud when it comes to needing these chairs. And where does that leave the people that need the chair? Where does that leave us? The people that actually have wheelchairs at home, that are prescribed wheelchairs and that need them. Where does that leave us? You got some nasty people out here. People don't give a crap about anything anymore. I mean, seriously, who are you to misuse something that someone else truly needs just to get ahead? I mean, is the world based only on trying to get ahead? Do we really have to trample over other people just to get ahead of someone else? Do we really have to destroy another person's life just to see if there's a way to get that person's life? When in reality, there's no way for us to take over someone else's life or take over someone else's way of living. But these people do it every single day. I mean, what is it? You really get a kick out of getting in a wheelchair knowing you don't need it, and you can actually have a conscience or no conscience at all to sit there and look at a person walking in the airport or walking into a store or walking somewhere, and you know they can't walk and they need that chair. You can actually sit in that wheelchair and watch them struggle knowing that your legs are perfectly fine. I mean, what has the world come to when you can't even get a wheelchair for people who need a wheelchair? And you know what? It's not enough outrage about it because it never matters if it's not happening to you. And what I'm seeing in this world when it comes to disability and people with them is that no one gives a crap. But let me tell you something, I do. And I can't stand to see people struggle because of someone else. You know, that's retarded. That's like really slow and retarded. I can't imagine if it was me and I was able bodied and I see someone that needs a wheelchair, I'm not going to get into a wheelchair that's made for them. I'm going to use my legs. I'm going to walk. But you know what? You got a lot of people out here that don't care about us. They don't care. They're just trying to get ahead. And the problem is in this country is that there's not enough laws that prohibit things like this happening. They can have strong security in airports, but they can't, make sure a person is actually disabled before taking use of a wheelchair that they don't need. I mean, you can search someone's purse, but you can't have them produce any type of proof that they are in a wheelchair. I mean, seriously, it even goes down to handicap parking. Seriously, you got people using people's handicap placards and they're not handicapped. So what happens? They park into a space, they're not handicapped, and what happens to the person that needs that space? They will actually sit there in that parking spot and watch that person walk all the way from the boondocks all the way up to the front door. It won't say one word. And then you got people with no handicap placard will park in that space and will look at you like you're wrong when you say something to them. What has the world come to when you have no regard for human life? You have no regard for no one else but yourself. And I think that is the most evil crap I've ever heard or seen. And for me, as a disability advocate, I'm like this: you park in my space if you want to. I will roll my happy self right up to you and ask what your problem is. Excuse me, what type of disability do you have and where is your placard? Because I had to go all the way from way back there to come way up here just to ask you what your problem is, because I should have had this spot, or I should have had this electric cart in the store. Why are you riding around in it? Because you don't want to walk? Come on. Really? You really gonna do that? It was a time I was in Walmart, no lie, and it was me and my daughter. And this was before I had a electric chair. I had a manual one, and she was pushing me, and we couldn't really shop without the electric cart because it'd be a little difficult. So she parked me in front, and I told her to get the nearest manager. Manager came over because there was no electric carts available. Like all of them were off the wall chargers. So I'm like, okay, ma'am, do you have any more electric carts? Because we need to do a little shopping and it's going to be difficult for me and my daughter to shop this way. She's like, well, no, we don't have any more. I'm like, well, where are they? Oh, there's people using them. So as she's saying this, check this out. As she's saying this, I'm looking across like a little past the cash registers, right? And I see this dude just having a good old time on one of those electric cars. Obviously not disabled. Obviously, the way he was like standing up in it, trying to do wheelies in it, trying to do handstands in it, whatever he was trying to do in this electric car. I'm like, ma'am, excuse me, can you tell me why this man is doing all these tricks on this thing and obviously he don't need it and I need it? So what are you gonna do about it? Do you know what this lady said? Well, we can't tell him to get up. I'm like, why not? You can't tell him to get off of it. Why not? Oh, because we're not sure if he's disabled or not. I said, ma'am, obviously not. If he's standing up in it, like with his hands on it, like, you know how you on a four wheeler, you got your hands on the bars and you're standing up, but your butt's not in the seat. I said, excuse me, but he's trying to do pop a wheelie in it. Not even that. He's actually, you know, playing on it. He's not even sitting in it. And you're telling me that that's perfectly fine, that I can sit here in your store and watch him misuse that electric cart when I could be using it? And the only excuse you got is that you can't tell him to stop. Now, what if he breaks it? You got something to say then? Oh, well, bam, that's different. How is that any different than me needing that chair? How is that any different than me needing that electric cart? This is the madness I'm talking about, people. This is what I'm talking about. Ever since I became disabled, I've been having problem after problem with able-bodied people. They feel like they are entitled to screw over any and everybody they want to because they are not in the same circumstance as this person like me is. And I know there's a lot of people that use wheelchairs as a way of life like I do. And if I'm unable to walk, don't you think I should have dibs on that machine or dibs on that electric car if this other person's playing on it? Don't you think that management should have stricter rules when it comes to those things? Seriously? And even not that. Don't you think the people that are actually abusing these wheelchairs, shouldn't they have some type of conscience and say, you know what? I'm wrong for even parking my butt in this thing? No, I saw an article about an airport in Hawaii where a they have an overabundance of people who are using wheelchairs designated for people with wheelchairs just to get ahead in line at the airport, which leaves a lot of wheelchair users out of gas. I mean, what do we think should happen? I mean, do you think, guys, as my listeners, do you think there should be stricter protocol when it comes to the use of these wheelchairs when it is for people that need them? Do you think it should be a choice that a person that don't need the wheelchair can just get access to it without problem? Is it fair for someone like me to have to sit on the side bench and wait for that wheelchair to come to her? Or should I just crawl my way through? That's a question I need to ask everybody. Does it bother you when you see someone do that in the store, even if you're not in a wheelchair? All my able bodied listeners, do it offend you when you see a person that's obviously not disabled park in a handicapped parking space? Does it bother you when they get in those electric shopping carts when they know they don't need them? Does it bother you when they like if you're on a bus, if they won't get up and let that person with the wheelchair use that area when it's designated for them? Does it even spark any type of flame for you to stand up and say, hey, this is wrong? Or do you just sit there and accept it because this is your way or this is the new normal? I need to know in the comments section. I need everybody to type in there and tell me what you think about that. Does it upset you or do you just accept it as the new normal? Do you? On that note, I'm going to leave it here because, like I said, I just got out of the hospital and I'm not going to stay on here long because I'm really not over the ordeal I went through when I was there. So, in that note, guys, take care of yourselves and please leave a comment in the comment section on what you think about the misuse of wheelchairs, especially people who are able bodied, don't need them. How do you feel when you see them do that? Let me know in the comment section. And again, thank you for watching, listening. Thank you very much. And as I always say, as long as I have an ear, I've done my job. So if you like, and only if you like, you can subscribe and share and like this video. If you're just simply here to listen, that's fine too. I do appreciate that as well. Subscription, likes, and shares not necessary as long as you're hearing my message. Thank you very much, guys, and have a good night.